In the bodybuilding world, there are a lot of people that will either train not hard enough in the gym, and then people that also train too hard in the gym. In this video, I want to discuss with you guys just a little bit about whether you think you're falling on the spectrum of training not hard enough, or whether you're in the spectrum of training too hard, or if maybe you do fall in that middle category of training just hard enough to see the right amount of results. So starting with the not training hard enough category or group of people, I see it all the time, people that don't train always to failure. Not to say that you should be training to failure on every single exercise of every single set. There is sort of, the research says that we should be training sort of around that 7 to 9 RPE, so rate of perceived exertion, leaving like 1 or 2 reps left in the tank at the end of each exercise. And then if you really want to, on that last set of some of your exercises, you can push that last set to failure, really fatigue the muscle and finish off the body part you're training. If then we couple that with the opposite end of overtraining, where we get someone who pushes every set to failure, so an RPE of 10 out of 10 every time, every set you're doing, you're pushing the muscle to failure, you'll find that each set you're getting more and more fatigued, you're not able to recover. And those sorts of people are what we'd say are overtraining and just overdoing it, because then eventually what you're going to start doing is falling into that category of just doing junk volume. Just watch a video on Jeff Nippard basically explaining what junk volume is. Check that out if you wanted to go into that a bit more detail. But basically, if you're fatiguing the muscle so much by going to failure and overtraining, eventually those sets you continue to do, they get worse and worse quality, and eventually are just doing nothing for you in terms of gaining muscle, gaining strength, all that sort of stuff. Other things you also see is people that, you ask someone to do 10, what weight they would use for 10 reps, and then you see them, they chuck on, let's say bench press for example, they'll do 60 kilos, they'll do 10, but then they'll do another 3 or 4 at the end of that as well to try and really push it to failure. So you're not really doing the weight you should be doing. That's when you're sort of under training and you're not pushing yourself to that limit. I guess unless you've been training for 1, 2, hopefully maybe probably even 3 years, to be honest, you're not really going to know what your true RPE 10, RPE 9 is. As we know, the muscle needs stimulus to grow. You need to be able to push it past what it's used to doing, and by doing that, we need to obviously fatigue the muscle and lift weight or do more reps, do more sets beyond what we've done before. But then you've got to be careful of not going into that overtraining category. Basically, the research says that most muscles in general as a whole, obviously some muscles are different to others and some people are different to others as well, between 10 to 20 sets per muscle per week, that can be split out between 5 days a week, 6 days a week, whatever you're splitting it over, to get the most out of each of your muscles when you are training. That's why I hate the bro split, because people will sit there doing a full chest day exercise routine, and they'll do 20, 30, 40 sets of just chest in that workout, and then they have the whole week to recover. But basically what they're getting is the first 10, maybe 15 sets are really worth doing something, and then you're falling into that overtraining and just junk volume category, where basically the other sets you're doing are just wasted. You might as well not even do them. You're better off, let's say you're doing bench press, incline press and push-ups, and you're going to do 5 sets on each of those exercises. You're almost better off if you wanted to do a chest focused day where you do push-ups, your bench press and your push-ups, and then on a separate day you're going to do your incline press or whatever it is you're doing, and that way cumulatively over the entire week you've done your 10 to 20 sets throughout the week. And then obviously the other spectrum of that is people that do, they'll do 2 sets of shoulder press and 2 sets of bicep curls, and they'll train twice a week, and they expect to see results when you're not even stimulating the muscle enough to see that growth and see those results either. The other thing you can look at is how many reps you're doing as well, and this could fall into either category of overtraining or undertraining. Doing anything over sort of 30, 40 reps in one set, as in one go, is not going to be as effective as someone who does 10, 12, 15 reps in their sets. Basically, the research shows that if you go anything over that sort of 30, 40 rep mark, all you're going to be doing is causing unnecessary soreness for yourself in the morning the next day, which is just going to impede on you training again the next day because you're going to be so sore. For me personally, if I ever do design my own program, at the moment I'm just following one that I got from someone else who's already done all the work for me. Basically, I try to go anything that's going to require a lot of volume, so things like your glutes, your quads, even your calves and shoulders. You can typically get away with doing more sets per workout, so sort of that 10 to 12 sets per workout, and sort of aiming for that higher end of 20 sets throughout the week as well with those muscle groups. And then things like your chest, your hamstrings, all that sort of your back, all that sort of stuff, you can sort of you sort of want to be trying to split that volume up a bit more evenly, so aiming for that maybe like 8 to 10 sets per workout. This also depends on what split you're doing as well. So some people that do an upper lower split, they have to sort of, especially with the lower, there's a lot less that's going on down there. You want to split your quads, hamstrings, and even calves up throughout those 3 days that you're training. But then if you're doing a push-pull leg split, you're splitting that sort of those 10 to 20 sets per week over 2 separate days. So your push day is just doing 10 chest exercises on the first push day, then maybe you're only doing 4 on the second one, and you're targeting more shoulders and triceps on that second one, and targeting less shoulders and triceps on the first one, if that makes sense. So you're doing a chest focused push day on that first push day, and then on that second push day you're going to do a little bit less on the chest, and you're target more on the shoulders and triceps, which may have missed that bit of volume earlier in the week. They would have still got the volume. They would have got that sort of maybe that 6 to 8 sets within that first part of the week, and then you're going to sort of target them a bit more in the second part of the week. If you're someone who does more than like 8 exercises in one training session on just shoulders, you're going to fall into that overtraining category. You're going to be doing all that junk volume, which just isn't going to contribute to any of your gains. You're not going to get huge, and it's just going to be a waste. And then you're going to recover a lot less. The next session you're going to be probably under training because you're not lifting the right weight that you should be lifting. Your RPE is going to be less than what it should be because you are so sore. Even if you're doing a different body part, you're probably going to be fatigued, your muscles haven't recovered, and you don't have the energy to actually get through that workout. So it's really trying to find that happy medium of where you want to be and where you want to be training to get the most out of all your training as well. And that wraps up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. There's a lot to go through there. If you have any questions on any of that stuff, or there's anything you want a bit more clarity about, let me know. I'm more than happy to reach out to anyone who wants to understand that a bit more. That was all a really basic rundown of what overtraining, undertraining would look like in a scenario. So, have any questions about whether you think you're undertraining or if you think you're overtraining, hit the comments down below. Let me know. Smash the like button and hit subscribe, please. It does help. And I'll see you all guys in the next one.